The news this morning, Governor Dumi Manuel says preserved relationships outlive political appointments as remains of mother-in-law Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem lays to rest. For witnessing first Sunday in December, Christians appreciate God in thanksgiving. Why do pedestrians abandon their bridges and opt for risky busy crossways? Plus, Nigerian-born American-based businessman Adebayo Ogunlesi named member of Economic Advisory Forum the U.S. President-elect. Details shortly. Hello there, and welcome to a brand new week. I am Abasi Ubong Gordon. Social relationships, if valued, treasured, and maintained, are greater determinants of unity and growth of any society than political positions. Governor Dumi Manuel made the assertion while condoling with the family of Eyoikwe, our Fawabieno, Ibionibom local government area, at the funeral service of their mother, Deaconess Elizabeth Eyoikwe, held at Christ the King Primary School, Wellington Bassey Way, Uyo. Government House Bureau Chief Colonel Edeme Freti reports that the service was conducted by the Brotherhood of the Cross and Star. His report is here presented.
The governor, who maintained that relationship, unlike politics, can divide a state, while sustained relationship can unite the people and promote the growth, lists the social structures to include the people's tradition, family institution, and individuals, adding that these components must be knitted with treasured relationship for a peaceful society to be obtained. The governor noted the large turnout at the funeral, attributing it not only to the sacrificial life of the late Deaconess Elizabeth Ekpe, but also to the exemplary life of her son-in-law, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem, whom he credited as a faithful and loyal person. He urged the family to be consoled that their mother lived to see them grow into useful citizens, even as he prayed for the repose of her soul.
What we are doing today is because of relationship. The relationship the children have with the mother is what has brought all of us here. Let's just try and see how we can live with one another in peace. We share in the pain of this loss today. However, we urge the entire family to be consoled and the church that she lived to see you rise to the enviable heights of your career as a family and high offices and public responsibility.
The immediate past Commissioner for Investment, Industry and Commerce, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem, while thanking the governor for gracing the event, said he was grateful to God that the governor, whom he described as a son of destiny, for not having disappointed the people. Barrister Enoidem, who is the son-in-law of the family, solicited the people's support for the governor to serve the state better, and also urged those he described as ethnic bigots and backbiters to allow the governor to sustain his relationship with the former governor, Senator Godswill Akpabio, for the good of the people.
Your Excellency, as the governor of Akwa Ibom said, you have not let us down. You have not disappointed us. Your Excellency, in the campaigns we told Akwa Ibom people that God brought you for a purpose. Your attitude towards this recession is a demonstration of that purpose that God had for you as the governor in Akwa Ibom State.
In a sermon, the officiating minister, Bishop Pius Etienne, advised Christians to live a good life and display virtues worthy of emulation when they depart the earth. The first son of the late Deaconess Elizabeth Eyoikwe, Mr. Kwawe Ekpe, while presenting his mother's biography, extolled her good qualities as a Christian and a good teacher who had during her life impacted her students and her children. Testimonies by the family, church and her village all eulogized the late Deaconess as an easygoing, peace-loving and selfless woman who would be greatly missed by all. The children, family members and other sympathizers later thank God for the life and times of Deaconess Elizabeth Eyoikwe. The remains of late Deaconess Elizabeth Ekpe was later laid to rest at her compound in Uyo.
It's no news that Christians gather every Sunday morning in their different denominations to worship God. But the large crowd of worshippers on the first Sunday of December attracted the attention of AKBC 45 News crew, where it was noted that the large crowd may not be unconnected with the need to show appreciation to God for sustenance, protection, and preservation as the year 2016 rolls to an end. Mercy Ekere was part of the worshipping crowd and filed in this report.
That was the mood at the Mount Zion Lighthouse Full Gospel Church Incorporated, annually with diocese headquarters, when AKBC crew visited as the faithful danced in appreciation to God for His benevolence. Bishop Okon Roberts said a grateful heart begets more blessings from God. He advised Christians to count their blessings even in difficult times.
We declare the whole of today as an happy. That is why all of us are dancing to appreciate God's kindness towards us.
At Kwaibo Church, Ewere Fort, Uyo, the resident minister, Reverend O.T. Benson, called on members of his congregation to be grateful to God for bringing them to the last month of the year. He reminded Christians of God's ability to protect, preserve, and provide even in the face of hardship. Worshippers at the QIC Await also sang and danced to the glory of God.
God is able to protect His people. He is able to keep us from every form of falling and to present us blameless.
At the All Grace Bible Church, New Stadium Road, Uyo, the sermon was that of restoration as the senior pastor, Reverend Edi Edente, preaching from Jeremiah 30 verse 17, said, God is able to restore failing health, dwindling finances, careers, and marriages.
God will restore health. Key to you, God will restore your business.
While Reverend Enoch Aji of the Dignified Life Ministries, Mberebe, preached from Ephesians 4 verse 13, admonishing the church to uphold standards and teachings of Jesus Christ. Reverend Christian Effiong of the United Evangelical Church, 4 Towns, Uyo, also encouraged Christians to emulate the teachings of Jesus Christ, who is the founder of the church.
The church is becoming more worldly than being a church, but calling on Christians to please emulate the lifestyle of Christ.
Some worshippers who spoke to Channel 45 News expressed gratitude to God for sustaining them to the first Sunday in the month of December.
I'm always happy because
God has
when
been
God
giving the authority.
you don't need to struggle, you don't need to fight. Anybody that want to fight, you will just fight for nothing. But when you allow God to do it, He will do it well.
For me to be alive today, I think it's a very special privilege.
God has given us sound health and life.
The grace of the Lord is upon us. The mercy of God has shown His light on our own life.
I'm privileged to be alive today.
Because one miracle that is also outstanding is the gift of life.
Mercy Ekere reporting.
The Public Accounts Committee of the State House of Assembly has invited 25 persons to appear before it in connection with the 2015 audit report of the Kwaibo State Government. The affected persons are to appear on Wednesday, December 7, 2016, at the committee room of the State House of Assembly at Udoma Avenue, Uyo, at 10 a.m. A statement signed by the Chairman, Public Accounts of the State House of Assembly, Elder Friday Iwo, advises those invited to comply accordingly, as the notice serves as final invitation. Those who appear include Emmanuel Eko, Sir Simon Etum, Zonal Director of Local Government Committee in Ukanafun, Nsurubio, and Okobo. Others are Mr. Ubong Akpan, Elder Emmanuel Usoro, Mr. Effiong Sunday, Mrs. Grace Ekanem, Chief Rufus Awak, and Mr. Okon Edet Enyao. Also invited are Mr. Edet J. Ekanem, Mr. B.B. Okwong, Mr. Ime Basi Etu, Mr. Akpan Ime Akpan, Dr. Emmanuel J. Akpan, and Mr. Ederepo Okon Odupawa. Also invited are Mr. Utip T. Ekidem, Elder Christopher Hussein, and the Executive Secretary, Judiciary Service Commission, Uyo, Otuekong Opo, Akwa Ibom Starlet Football Club, Uyo, as well as Dr. Ukwabasi Ekanem of the Comprehensive Health Center, Esene Ikwalabasi. Recently, Channel 45 News showed a special report on violence against women as part of activities of the United Nations approved Day of the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Reactions from viewers have continued to trail the report, especially from our male viewers, stating that men also suffer various societal abuse and domestic violence, adding that it will be discriminatory of Channel 45 News not to create awareness of such abuses. Consequently, the following report on violence against men was put together by Augusta Essien. We sincerely apologize for the loss of sound in that report. Still to come, why do people prefer crossing high vehicular traffic roads to using pedestrian bridges? This and other stories when we return. Please stay tuned.
We are a threatened generation, stalked in the consciousness of militarization. Failure to debrief our citizens leads to impunity on the part of leadership. The greatest office is neither that of the executive nor the legislature, but the citizens. Democracy returns power to the people. Of a nation, updating your political consciousness for political relevance and proper integration.
You're still watching AKBC 45 News. So good to have you back with us. Yesterday was the second Sunday of Advent, remaining 3 Sundays to Christmas according to liturgical calendar. Consequently, preparations by Christians for Christmas are in top gear, with Sunday services featuring sermons on the need for repentance at this period heralding the birth of Christ. In the following report, Uyo Koswa examines the importance of repentance during Advent.
Women are mostly at the receiving end of sociocultural, political, religious or ethnic war violence. Yes, there are acts that are exclusively committed against men by the society, the government, the family, and the law, ranging from some government programs and policies planned to favor, empower, or alleviate pains women suffer, so much so that a Ministry of Women Affairs has been put in place, to First Ladies initiating programs to better the lives of women, non-governmental organizations and activist groups fighting the cause of women, laws being enacted to protect women and the girl child, so that even as victims of violence, a man can be falsely arrested and or dealt with by women activist groups when the wife makes a case. Yes, men have a point. Again, in the world popularly referred to as a man's world, it is always ladies first. To add salt to injury, the United Nations and other groups set aside a special day as a day to fight violence against women and no day for men. But are these violence, or could there actually be discriminations against men? Although it has not been heard where a man has had an acid bath from a woman, there are domestic violence against men where there are stories where wives have butchered their husbands, chopped off or grabbed their genitals, holding their ties and belts, seizing their car keys, or verbally abusing or assigning household chores to their spouses, especially if their spouses are financially weak.
Like a woman of 40-something getting married to a young guy of 20-something, she may beat him or even carry a knife or a gun, threaten him, knowing that he doesn't have maybe money.
That's self-defense. At times we women, we know that we can never compete with a man's strength, as in with the physical strength, emotional strength, financial strength. But then, you see, it's not in our blood to be defeated. So that's why a woman will always look for a way to defend herself or something.
Even where men suffer domestic violence, intimidated physically or emotionally, they hardly make a case, maybe because of machoism or ego, shame or embarrassment, or that they may not get fair justice, feeling that the women would be said to have acted in defense of an abuse perpetrated by the man.
Actually, if the man normally violates the woman, it should just be a way of making the man know that actually women too have rights. I think they should.
I think it's very, very insulting for a woman to lay a hand on a man. That's very insulting.
So, men keep sealed lips so as not to be referred to as weak. They internalize the emotional pains, which culminates into other problems, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, extramarital affairs, as a revenge mechanism. Some men swallow the bitter pills of domestic abuse, save as house helps with deflated ego, low self-esteem, loss of respect or control over their children and the society. Some even contemplate suicide over letting the society know what they're suffering at home. Even though the society isn't giving enough attention to violence against men, it is believed that a time will come when men will gather themselves together and discuss the issues, maybe in Beijing, China, and raise one voice against domestic violence against men. Augusta SCM reporting.
Okay, that was the insights on the story on the violence against men. We sincerely apologize for that mix-up. Yesterday was the second Sunday of Advent, remaining 3 Sundays to Christmas, according to liturgical calendar. Consequently, preparations by Christians for Christmas are in top gear, with Sunday services featuring sermons on the need for repentance at this period, heralding the birth of Christ. In the following report, Uyo Koswa examines the importance of repentance during Advent.
Here with the liturgical year may be confused with the significance of the Advent season. Some people have the view that Advent season focuses on expectations, thinking that it anticipates the celebration of Christ's birth. This is part of the story, but there is more to Advent.
Advent is simply coming. It is a word, a Latin word that means coming. The first season in the Christian calendar, and it means waiting for the coming of Jesus Christ. You know, it starts 4 Sundays before Christmas. It ends at Christmas, and is the first event in the Christian calendar.
Advent is very, very important to us because it is a time that we celebrate the coming of Jesus Christ. Of course, Advent itself means the coming. We believe that Jesus Christ comes into our lives to stay and to live in our lives, to change and to transform our living.
The theme for the second Sunday of Advent is repentance.
Repentance has to do with a drastically change, total turnaround, a change in our life, a change in our attitude. Why is so important? Because for Christ to come into our lives, He needs a life that has been transformed.
History has it that by the 6th century, Roman Christians had tied Advent to the coming of Christ. But the coming they had in mind was not Christ coming in the manger in Bethlehem, but His coming in the clouds as the judge of the world. It was not until the Middle Ages that the Advent season was explicitly linked to Christ's birth, which is celebrated at Christmas. But how does the theme for the second Sunday, which is repentance, relate to Christmas?
The reason why repentance is very, very important in Advent is that it is the foundation that brings the benefit of Advent. To qualify, your soul must be saved, because that is the main reason He came to die. He came to the world. Your soul has to be saved. But before that is done, before you enjoy salvation, you must deliberately turn away from the world to God.
The importance of repentance comes in here because we are all sinful, and the essence of His coming was meant to salvage us from all sins. Why is so important? Because for Christ to come into our lives, He needs a life that has been completely reformed so that He can live and stay and operate in us.
The choir of the Lutheran Church of Nigeria, Ewe Street, delivered this song to mark the second Sunday of Advent. Christmas is already in the air. How prepared are you? Uyo Koswa reporting.
For the safety of pedestrians who ply busy and high vehicular traffic roads, the Kwara State government constructed pedestrian bridges or walkways on Ipa Road and Nwariba Ederekwana Avenue roundabout. Yet, pedestrians who walk these walkways were meant for prefer to use the roads even when such roads are busy with fast-moving cars. Why is it worth the risk and rendering the bridge needless? Correspondent Augusta Essien reports.
Pedestrian bridges are a platform which allow for easy crossing where there seems to be high vehicular traffic. It is usually built across high places, and the importance in terms of necessity cannot be overemphasized. For residents of the metropolis like Uyo, where there has been rural-urban migration and an increase in vehicular traffic, the two pedestrian bridges along Nwariba Road and Ederekwana Avenue and the ones at Ipa Road are vital medium for pedestrians to ease their movement in those seemingly busy roads. Busy roads where there are no bridges are usually laced with safety crossing signs such as zebra crossing and are done at every 100 to 200 meters apart. AKBC 45 News observed that the bridges at Nwariba roundabout are hardly ever used by pedestrians, nor the ones along Ipa Road, which were constructed for the safety of the university community and other road users. Why are these bridges never used?
I think the main reason is because of the timing when they are already up for lectures. They usually prefer to cross the road and get to their lecture hall.
The long distance to them to cross and enter inside the school.
Like you are late for lectures, just come. Actually, those crossing, like it's fun, but to go on the protocol.
The most vital reasons for ignoring the bridges were also raised by some pedestrians.
It's shorter to cross the road than to go over the bridge.
It takes a student up to like 15 minutes. Or 15 minutes or 15 or 5 to 10 seconds before a student can cross over to this side. But it just takes a student 2 seconds for he or she to cross to the other side.
Since the reason why we may cross, again the task was there. The task was cross. My cross. So when some task was sort of back. accident. Prevention is better than cure.
But for the few who use the bridges, government's intention of building the bridges would not have been met.
I choose to use the bridge because it helps me avoid accidents. It's easier for us to cross by safely without any, distractions by the vehicles.
I didn't mean the state government will design the thing in such a way that they will put it one inside the school, one leg inside the school, and another one leg at Andes campus. The thing will be very easy, and this place will be crowded.
It is pertinent that pedestrians value their lives more while the provision is still on the way, for there is nowhere worth rushing to that can replace the lives of people. Augusta Essien reporting.
The serene village of Usowobiedene in Ikona local government area came alive weekend as thousands of sympathizers thronged the area to witness the funeral of a nonagenarian, Chief Nna Umaudo, who was unto death a member of the village council. The funeral was conducted by the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria at the deceased compound, from where Etienne Ibanga filed the following reports.
The late Chief Nna Umaudo was celebrated for his contributions to the establishment and development of community secondary school Obiedene in Ikona, the church and the village circle, where he served as a member of the community council. The bereaved family, while thanking God for the legacy left behind by their father, said there was no need for them to mourn because their father had lived a fulfilled life up to 91 years. In his sermon on the topic, having riches on earth but not in heaven, the minister in charge of the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, Edene Parish, Reverend Samuel Samson, said, anyone who accumulates earthly wealth without preparing for eternity is a poor person. Reverend Samson advised the living to see their journey on earth as a temporary mission, as everyone will stand before God on the judgment day. He charged Christians to watch their steps, refrain from sins, and live peaceably with one another. A biography of the deceased, read by his granddaughter, Miss Blessing Umo, indicated that Chief Nna Umo was a successful farmer, entrepreneur, and capacity builder whose role in the society would be greatly missed. Etenna, as he was fondly called by Amaris, was described as a coordinator of development projects in Usowobiedene, having served as a member of the village council and family head of Ikodi.
He was highly respected by all. He was a man of peace and justice. Papa was a man of integrity and a role model. Papa was also endowed with wisdom of God. He used the wisdom to solve many problems in the family and society at large.
In a thanksgiving, the Brood family, led by the chief mourner and chairman of Living Supreme Baptist Church, Cross River State, Pastor Josh Umo, appreciated God for sustaining them to bury their father, while commending friends, associates, and sympathizers for standing by them. Pastor Umo said the family will assist the church to replace a roof in memory of their father.
So family and for the fact that he has achieved great things and has made me to become what I am, I'm happy.
Tributes and condolence messages were sent to the bereaved family by groups and individuals, including the Living Spring Baptist Church, Nigerian Ports Authority, and Ikona Potential Movement Association, while choir groups surprised the obsequies with hymns. Survived by wife, 16 children, and other relatives, the remains of Chief Nna Umaudo were buried at his compound at Usowobiedene in Ikona local government area. Etienne Ibanga reporting.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, offers succor to Nigerian refugees in Cameroon, and it Silent votes in a referendum that leaves the fate of